The government had a bumper January this year, raking in a record £30.4 billion surplus, the biggest monthly surplus since records began in 1993. My name is Jack Reeves and welcome back to this week's episode of Tax Tidbits, where the surplus was driven by a sharp rise in tax income that far exceeded government spending, thanks to the self-assessment deadline. Capital gains tax did a lot of the heavy lifting, as there was a 69% surge as investors rushed to sell before the tax rules changed. There was also quite a big boost to income tax and national insurance income, helped by frozen thresholds quietly nudging people into higher tax bands. All of this meant that £133.3 billion rolled in during January alone. Although this is a nice headline win, economists have cautioned that public finances remain finely balanced amid slow wage and economic growth, and while this offers Chancellor Rachel Reeves some positive momentum ahead of the spring statement, there is still little long-term financial breathing room. UK shops are getting serious about chocolate thefts, and some supermarkets, including Sainsbury's, Tesco and Co-op, are locking bars in anti-theft boxes because apparently chocolate has become the new hot property for thieves. Retailers are seeing chocolate stolen to order by organised criminals who sell it on through illicit markets, sometimes swiping entire shelves at a time. Retailers are suffering significant losses from these thefts, with some stores losing hundreds of pounds a week alone, and one regional co-op group losing £250,000 last year, prompting increased CCTV, AI monitoring, reduced shelf displays and security tagging. The issue comes amid 5.5 million recorded shop theft incidents last year, with industry leaders calling for stronger police action and to disrupt organised resale networks. Good news for UK households. Energy bills are set to drop by about 7% in April, shaving roughly £10 a month off a typical price-capped bill, thanks to a government shake-up of charges, according to Ofgem. Most of the savings come from cutting policy costs, though rising network maintenance means the full promised £150 isn't quite making it to your wallet. How much you save depends on your energy habits. Big electricity users get the biggest relief, while gas-heavy, low electricity homes might barely notice. Prepayment meter users will see slightly lower bills, but if you pay quarterly, you could still see a slightly higher bill. Experts say this is probably the biggest drop we'll see this year, so households are still urged to keep an eye on usage, because while energy bills are dropping, it's unlikely that your water bill, council tax bill or other general living expenses are getting the memo. The number of people on zero-hour contracts in the UK has hit a record 1.23 million, driven largely by 16 to 24-year-olds and those not in full-time education, just as Labour gears up to crack down on zero-hour contracts next year. These contracts offer employers flexibility, but leave workers guessing how many hours and how much cash they'll get each week. Over 30% of zero-hour workers rely on them full-time, and it can be very tricky to secure stable housing, plan for bills, or live anything resembling a normal life when you don't know what income will be. Labour's upcoming Employment Rights Act promises guaranteed hours, proper notice and pay if shifts are cancelled, though the fine print is still being hammered out. Trade unions and experts warn it's high time the rules catch up with reality, and that urgent implementation is needed to protect living standards and tackle the one-sided flexibility that leaves over 1 million workers unsure how much they'll earn each week. If you're a football fan, this one is for you. Pubs in England and Wales will be allowed to stay open late for any home nation knockout match at this summer's Men's World Cup, not just the semis and final as originally planned. For 10 p.m. kickoffs, pubs can stay open until 2 a.m. Earlier kickoffs will let you stay until 1 a.m. and pubs may be able to open even later for extra late matches, available via a special license. The move follows a public consultation and is meant to let fans enjoy every goal without missing a pint. The British Beer and Pub Association says the move supports pubs, protects jobs and drives community spending, giving venues extra hours to sell pints, snacks and keep cash registers ringing while fans soak up the action. And that's a wrap on this week's Tax Tidbits. Thanks for tuning in and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss next week's video.